All right, we're doing the back pocket now, so you're going to need your exterior piece H and your pocket pieces I. Now, if you are doing the binding version like I am, then your piece H is going to be cut down at the height of this dotted line. So it's going to look a little different than the illustration in the pattern. So I'm going to move these pieces out of the way. You also need your zipper. Okay, so I need my 9-inch zipper for this, small. And I am going to take my pocket lining, and I already drew the location on here. I used my ruler and marked about 1 inch from the top and the sides and made a 1/2 inch rectangle. And you can place this anywhere on your piece. It doesn't have to go in the middle. You want the edges, the corners to be away from both sides. So I usually place it right about there. If you are doing the birthed version, you can put this about 1 inch from the top. I'm doing the binding version, and I'm going to put it about 1/2 inch or 3/8 inch from the top. And I can't pin it in place because the holes will stay showing on the vinyl, so I'm just going to do my best to hold this in place. Okay, and so I'm going to start sewing along my line. What I do is I start sewing in the middle, and I start sewing at my normal stitch length, which is 2.5. As I get closer to, I'm going to put my needle down position. As I get closer to this corner, I start lowering my stitch length as I go along. I think my button is just out of view, but I lowered it to a 1. And I am going to stitch this at a 1. And then as I start sewing, I gradually increase the length of stitches back to 2.5. My machine is making my other pieces fall down. So long, normal stitch length, and as I get closer to the corner, I decrease my stitch length again. I don't know if you can see me pushing this button over here, but I'm decreasing it and increasing it. And then I pivot it with the needle down, and then increase back to 2.5. And that's how I get nice crisp corners. It works very well. Okay, got my seam ripper. Start ripping right in the middle. Just a short amount, and then I switch to my scissors. And I cut halfway down, or halfway in between the lines, till I get close to the end, and then I cut in a V shape up to the corners, but not through the stitching. And then back over to this corner and this corner. Now if this fabric could be ironed, I would go push this through and press it, but I can't. So I am going to be finger pressing it. I'm trying to get it pressed with my fingers. It works pretty well with many vinyls. Just to finger press it and it'll stay roughly in the right spot. But not all vinyls crease well. So if you're struggling, you can use clips to keep it in place. But I wouldn't keep them on for long because they can leave a mark on the vinyl. All right, I'm almost done. Now I'm ready to put the zipper in. With fabric this shifty though, I might want to use double-sided tape to keep my zipper in place. I usually just stick it on there and go for it, but I think I'll be happier if I use the double-sided tape. So I'm gonna go get that. All right, I've got my double-sided tape on either side. I've got my fabric, and this zipper pull really can go in either direction. I typically put it on the left, I believe. Let me check my pattern. I have it on either direction. Oh, let me check my... no, my test version, I didn't use a back pocket. Oh, that's one thing I meant to bring up. If you're doing the binding version, you can leave out this back pocket. If for some reason, if you just don't like doing zippers, if you don't need a back pocket, you can leave it out. I designed it specifically for passports. That's what I was thinking, passports and credit cards, because this side will always be right up against your body. But it is the pocket that if you are birthing it, you need to have to turn through this pocket. And the purse will be held against your body this way. So you might want to put the zipper head this way so you can easily pull it down. You will be using your left hand, or you can stick it here if you want to pull it up. So I actually have to go to my sewing table to put this on because I don't think I can get this in the right place with this camera positioned where it is. So I will be right back. Okay, I have the zipper in place. Oops, I need my zipper foot. This is tricky, even with a double-sided tape. Nothing wanted to stay in place. Oh, dang it, I ran out of bobbin thread. Okay, I've got new bobbin thread. Okay, this is not my best looking zipper because my machine's struggling with this vinyl. Of course, that always happens when you're videoing, that something goes wrong. For me, it's my fabric choice. Okay, so that, oops, a messier zipper. You'll just have to trust me that I can do nice zippers. Okay, I've got my second piece, I believe this is. And because I'm binding this, I can sew all the way around this pocket. If I were birthing it, I would want to leave the pocket open. I generally don't pin these or clip these. I just match up the edges and go for it. And it works decently. Just be careful sewing over the zipper ends. Alright, so there in my back pocket. And before I move on to the next video, the last thing we need to do is sew the darts on the pleated lining. So piece J, I've already marked these darts on the back, and it's exactly the same as what we did for the front. And sew right along my line. On both darts. And for these, I'm not going to bother trimming them. I'm just going to fold them like that. Though this is actually going to be like this because it's on the inside of the purse. Okay, and I'm going to set that aside for now. Set aside the lining, and for the next video I will be showing you how to do the top zipper. I'm going to have a different purse showing how to do it with the birthing method. This method is doing the binding method, so make sure you follow the link to the correct video.